Hello everyone, I hope you're all well. Welcome to my channel. My name's Kim and today I am going to do a MakeNine 2024 video. Now usually in the month of January, every January I set myself a challenge of not spending a single penny on sewing related things. No fabric, no patterns, absolutely nothing. And to me it's a killer. I really struggle with not buying anything sewing related, but it does focus the mind because I find that I will look at what I've already got and I will make do. So you do become quite inventive, and now we're getting to the end of the month. I'm really pleased with myself that I have still managed to keep to my January challenge that I set myself. And through doing that, what I've also decided to do with my MakeNine 2024, I have decided to use all the patterns that I already have in my stash and all the fabric that I already have in my stash. So I have spent a bit of time going through all of my patterns and also through my fabric index box. So you're all aware of my fabric index box because I have spoken about it a few times, and basically this is my fabric, all of my fabric stash in a box. So I have picked my patterns and I then sat down with all of my patterns and I went through my fabric box to find fabrics that would work with the patterns that I have chosen. And so with that said, I'm going to go through each of them and I'm going to show you the pattern that I've picked alongside the fabric that I have chosen for that project. So I will put up a image of my MakeNine. So very quickly you will see what I have planned. So there are a few dresses on there. There's a skirt, some trousers, a swimsuit and a travel bag. Now these are all things that I have not made before and I'm quite excited about them. So I've had a good old rummage through my fabric and I got even more excited because I do have some beautiful fabric and I just need to get on and use it. So my first fabric is it's called Mayo Jersey Stripe. So I think you've seen this. Let me show you this. I think I have already shown you this. I bought this from Croft Mill and I showed it in one of my earlier videos, and it was on sale and it was a really good price. I think it was £2.75 a metre and I got 3 meters, and I had my eye on this fabric for a while. So it is nice and stretchy. But what I would like to make with this is the Maven Somerset top. Now this top has bishop sleeves with really long cuffs and it has a bateau neck. So the neck literally is like it's a bit like a slip neck really. You just have like a slit in the top. It goes sort of really wide and your head just pops through. And I haven't done one of those before, so that's a new challenge for me. And I have looked at the Mavern pattern site and they do great tutorials, so I think I'm going to do a little bit of research more on this pattern, just watch a few of those videos and use my camo jersey for that first challenge. So that is the Maven Somerset T-shirt. So that's number 1. Now number 2 is the Vogue. It's Vogue 1336, and I'll put an image of it up so you can see it better rather than me put the pattern to the camera. I put an image of the dress, and I'll also put line drawings because I think you can see more through the line drawings. And the version that I'm interested in is the block one that uses different fabrics. So I keep looking at this pattern, and I was going to make it in my Make 9 last year, but I didn't get around to doing it. But I've been through my stash and I think I found a really good combination of fabrics. So first of all, I've got my fabric cards here, and some of this fabric has been in my stash for so long. I've got really limited information on it, so oh god. Right, so this fabric here I've had in my stash since 2015. I mean, that's ridiculous. So that's been in my stash since 2015, and I bought it from a company called Cloth Spot, and they no longer are in existence. I loved their website, and they did provide some beautiful fabric, which I bought quite a lot of them over the years that they were operating. But I thought this would be quite a nice fabric to use on that dress alongside this ribbon fabric that I have. So I think that would block quite well. And this ribbon fabric is from, look at the sheet, I haven't even got a date or a supplier on that, so that's obviously been hanging around for quite a while. So they're the two main fabrics for the dress, and I did manage to find some black cardigan lace, and that's what it was called when I bought it. And it is, let me try and get it off this board, it is quite a thin jersey knit. So I thought that would work quite well on the sleeves. And this fabric came from a company called Colville, and they used to do auctions where you would go on to the auction every Sunday, and they would literally have cut pieces of fabric, and if you wanted it, you would just say you wanted it, and then they would make a note of your name, and then they would send you out a you know, the specified length. And this is a 3 meter length, and they closed down a while back, but they were really good. I bought a lot of fabric off of them, and they were very reasonably priced, and it's sad that they've also gone. And that fabric was bought in 2020, so that's quite a while ago. So they're my 3 fabrics to make up the Vogue 1336. So I'm quite excited about making that, and I think that might be my first make, because this would be quite a nice dress to wear in as the weather is at the moment, because it's quite cold, and that's all jersey knit, which is quite warm. So they're my little fabric cards, and that's my second Make 9. So my third Make 9 is a bag. Now this, I've made bags before, but I've only really made cosmetic bags. This bag is completely different. This is a huge travel bag, and I've never made anything this big before. So this is really quite a challenge for me. And you know, when you make something and it scares you a bit, I haven't had that feeling for a while. And this sort of scares me a bit because I haven't made anything like this before. And but even, you know, saying that, I'm still excited about making it. It's from a company called So Sweetness, and she produces some beautiful bags. And when I saw this, I just thought this bag looked really nice, and it's made up with craft cotton, and I have a lot of craft cotton in my stash. I haven't decided yet what fabrics I'm going to use for it, but it will be something out of my stash. So I'm not going to show you any fabrics for this bag. I need to sit down and go through the pattern really and start buying things like, you know, the hardware for it and the zips. But because I've set myself a challenge, and a challenge that I set myself every year is in the month of January, I do not spend a penny on anything, and I mean anything, nothing sewing related, nothing. So I sort of give myself a bit of a break, and I give my poor credit card a bit of a well needed rest, and just take a step back and just reassess. And because I've done that this year with my Make 9, it has made me fall in love again with my patterns and my fabric stash, because it's made me have to go through all of my patterns and through all of my fabrics and start to fill them again, and, you know, imagine what I could make with them. And I feel quite excited about working my way through some of these patterns, and in the knowledge that I haven't spent more money. But that will come later, probably when I start buying stuff that I need for this bag. So I'm trying to be good. But I know in January I won't spend anything, but it will probably pick up later when I start working through some of these projects. So that is the travel bag. So there will be more on that in the future. So you'll see that progress. So number 4 out of the Make 9 is the Sinclair Indigo swimsuit. Now, I haven't made a swimsuit before, but I have bought quite a lot of swimsuit fabrics because I did that thing that I do. I go off and I bought some of these fabrics because I thought I just wanted to learn about the composition of them. And once I started learning about them, I bought a few pieces in so that I could effectively see what they look like. So I have a few pieces of fabric. So I will first of all put the image of the swimsuit up so you can see what the Indigo swimsuit looks like. It's a one piece. And I haven't worn bikinis for years now, so I would always buy a one piece. But I was quite taken back by all of the beautiful swimsuit fabrics out there. They're just so vibrant, and I wouldn't, you know, I wouldn't mind making my own. Instead of wearing, I mean, I'm not somebody who will wear a black swimsuit. I'm not one of these people that particularly likes to wear black. I never have. I like colour, and there is some colour in this. I mean, this is beautiful. So that's the first piece of swimsuit fabric. It's got every colour under the sun, literally every colour under the sun. So that is really in your face swimsuit. But I thought with some of these swimsuits, it has different front panels in it, so it can have a different top front panel, and it has a one of the swimsuits has a ruched front as well, so you could tone some of that vibrancy down with some plainer fabric. So I did buy some plain blue, so I thought that would work with that. Okay, it would also work with this other fabric that I bought here. So it would work really well with that. And I also bought this as well. God. So it would also work with that. Now there's not as much fabric, blue fabric, as there is all of the bright coloured patterned fabric. So I would probably need to buy more of this. But I think what I will do is I will make one of them up and see how it goes, see how it fits, and then I will buy more fabric to sort of build up my collection of swimsuits. I had a quick look at the pattern, and you can line your swimsuit. So I don't know whether to line it with something like this as well, or I do have some sort of beige, sort of skin toned power net in my stash, and I could always line it with that. And I think lining it would probably give it a little bit more stability, and hopefully not make it see-through. I don't think in any of these fabrics, you know, even when I stretch them, they're not see-through, but you never know when you put them in water what they will behave like. So I will be doing a little bit of experimenting with water and stretch, and just seeing whether they work okay with, oh, very slippery, whether they work okay in water when they're stretched. And they were bought, actually they were only bought last September, so that's not bad. So the blue fabric I got from First 4 Fabrics, and it was actually classed as swimwear fabric, and unfortunately I don't have a composition for it, but I'm assuming that's all of that swimsuit fabric has got some sort of spandex in it, because it has that really strong stretch which recovers really well. And the other 2 fabrics I bought from a company called Croft Mill. Yeah, so they weren't too badly priced. So that's the Sinclair Indigo swimsuit. So that's number 4. And number 5 is the Burda Skirt. Now, oh God, years ago, I was always in skirts. I used to wear skirts all the time. I don't think I even owned a pair of trousers. And I've just got out of wearing skirts because of my job. I always wear trousers, and trousers have then sort of come into my day-to-day life, so I seem to wear trousers all the time. So I thought I would like to start making a few skirts. So I have I found the Burda 5991, and I like both of these images. One of them's got pockets which sit just off center, sort of coming from the side of the skirt in, because I didn't really want them I didn't want them on the hips, because I got quite big hips, and I didn't want anything to emphasize my hip size anymore. But I just quite liked this pattern, and I would extend it to hide my knobbly knees. Nobody wants to see those. So I thought that pattern looked quite straightforward. I think with this one I'll do a twirl, because I haven't made a skirt for a long time. I think I'll do a twirl and just see what the fit's like before I make it. And I'm going to make it in this fabric here, which this fabric came from Minerva, and I bought this in 2021. I have 1.5 meters of this, and this pattern says I only need 1.25 meters, so there's plenty there to do this pattern. And it's called Stretch Woven Cotton Sateen Burnt Orange, and I just love this fabric. I think it will be really good for a skirt, because not only is it the right sort of thickness, it's also got a bit of stretch on it, which is nice, because with buttons down the front you need a bit of stretch, because you don't want them gaping open when you sit down. So that's why I'm going to do a twirl, because I don't want to sit down in it and find that it gapes. So that is my number 5 Make 9. Number 6, I want to make a summer dress. Now when I bought this pattern, I just thought it would make such a lovely summer dress, and I don't particularly like my arms. I mean, I'm of an age now where I've sort of got the old batwing arms, but I think this pattern shows off your shoulders, and it shows off this side of your arm, which is still, you know, that's still okay. And I think what I would like to do is, when I first got this pattern and I looked at the line drawings at the back, there was a pattern that I particularly interested me, and that was the B version, because it was divided into 2 different colours. And I thought what I might do is I might do a bit of a sewing hack. So I might do the top part where it has the cold shoulder arm reveal effect, and in the bottom part of the dress I would change the colour down, and it has pockets in the front rather than the side. But at this moment this is all going around in my head, and I might change my mind once I come to the pattern, but I won't change my mind about the fabric that I've selected for it. So I picked 2 fabrics, and it's these 2 here. So it's this one here, and it's got a matching plain colour here. So I'm not really sure which colour I'm going to use on the top and which colour I'm going to use on the bottom, because I think sometimes think the colour on the bottom is quite good, because if you're sitting down a lot and the fabric creases, it doesn't show as much in a patterned fabric. So I think I might put the patterned fabric on the bottom and the plain fabric on the top, but I will experiment a bit with that. So that, and I've got no details on the fabric, because when I bought the fabric I bought it intentionally to make up one of these dresses, and this has been sitting in my whip box, and I don't know how long it's been in there for, but because I've made no details of it, which frustrates me because I like details. Right, so that is Make 9 number 6. So my next pattern choice is the Fantail Sweatshirt. Now this pattern, you can make this in either stretch fabric or woven fabric, and as you know, I've made a few sweatshirts, and I thought I would like to make something a little bit different and test this pattern out with some stretch fabric, because I would definitely like to make it in some woven fabric at some point. But I have been quite enjoying working with stretch fabric lately, and I don't normally make a lot of stuff in stretch, but I have quite enjoyed working with it, and I thought I would use up some of my stretch fabric that I have in my stash. Now this fabric is a bit wacky, but I think it's quite nice. Not too mad, but I think it would work quite well in the sweatshirt version of this pattern. So this fabric is just it's called Hot Pink and Grey Leopard Jersey, so it's got a bit of stretch. It's not really sweatshirt fabric, but it is great for me to test out this pattern, and so I thought it would be a bit of fun to do something a bit not really a leopard print person, but saying that, I've still got a lot of it in my stash. So I will make that pattern up and see how it goes. This fabric was also bought from Colville. I think I bought it was 3 meters for £12. I mean, it was cheap as chips. It was really really reasonable, and that was back in May 2020. So that needs to be made up into something, and there's still going to be plenty of this left over to make something else, so that's going to be around for a while. So I've got my card and I will stick that over there. So that is my MakeNine 7. So on to the next one, pants. So I do like wearing trousers, and I have made a few pairs of trousers in the past, and I have been quite lucky with the fit. I have quite big hips. I do have a flat tummy, which is quite nice, but that's balanced by my big bum. So I find that whereas people generally have problems fitting their tummy, I usually have problems fitting in the bum area. But I think these Sidewinder trousers would suit my shape, because the front of the trousers are literally flat and there is elastic in the back of the trousers. So I think what I might do with these is I will make a twirl to start with, see what they look like in, I think, the size that they obviously suggest, and if I need to, I'll go up a size, or if it fits okay everywhere but it doesn't fit too great on the bottom, I'll do a little pattern adjustment. But I will look at all of that when I come to it. But the fabric I picked for those is this pinstripe. So this pinstripe is navy stretch suiting fabric with a white pinstripe. I bought 2.5 meters, but they actually gave me 2.67 meters, so I got a little bit extra, and that was from a company called Weaver D, and I bought this back in March 2020, and it was only £7 a meter, so really good price for suiting. And I have got a composition here. So this fabric is 4-way stretch. Now I like a bit of stretch in my trouser fabric, because it's like when you sit down, especially if you have something that's close fitting, it's quite nice when you sit down that especially in the your seating area, it just gives you a little bit of stretch. It doesn't feel tight. And I usually do try to buy suiting that has a little bit of stretching, because I think it works really well with trousers. So the fabric has a 4-way stretch. So not a great stretch, better stretch, yeah. So it's not a great stretch, but it's enough. I don't want too stretchy, but this fabric, sorry, is made up of 33% cotton, 64% polyester and 3% spandex. So yeah, I think this would be great fabric for the Sidewinder trousers. And because it has that effect on the front leg where the seam line sort of wraps around the front of the leg, I think you will be able to see it quite well with this pinstripe. So that is number 8 of my MakeNine. So on to the last pattern. So this is McCall's M7899, and I like 2 versions of this pattern. I like C and D. So C has a pleated sleeve, and the pleats finish mid arm, and then the rest of the fabric sort of cascades down into an elasticated cuff, and I quite like the effect of that sleeve. But I also like the effect of the version D sleeve, because it's elasticated actually at the top of the sleeve, and then all the fabric cascades down into a cuff. So I will pick which one I want to make when I come to it, but I will probably make both of them. And the pattern suggests making it in cotton lawn, so I have picked this lovely cotton lawn. It is quite thin, but I think this would make a really beautiful top for the summer. And because there is so much fabric in the sleeve, I didn't want the fabric to be too thick because I want it to fall quite nicely rather than ballooning out. So I wanted it to be quite a fine fabric, and I mean, this is absolutely gorgeous. The colours in this are amazing. So this is called Effie Fine Lawn Cotton, and I bought this from Stitch Fabrics, one of my favourite fabric companies, in June 2021, and I bought 3 meters of it. And I know that they do this fabric, it does keep coming up on their site, so each time I see it on their site I think, oh, I've got that. Right, so that is my Make 9 plans. So I'm quite excited, and I think I'm going to start off making the Vogue dress, the number 2. But with all the others, even though I picked all the fabrics for them in advance, I just want to say that I might change my mind when I come to actually making them. Now, I've put all the fabrics together with their patterns, and I do have this thing where I will keep looking at it, and if it feels right, I will then carry on and I'll make the garment. If I just feel that I haven't picked the right fabric for that pattern, I will go and find something else to make it up. But at the moment, I'm happy with my selection, and I think I'm quite keen to get going, and that's a good feeling, to sort of be happy about making my next project. Will pop up throughout the year as I make them, and I will try to make all of them. My biggest challenge is obviously the travel bag, never having made something like that before, and even though it's quite scary, I feel quite excited about trying something new. I mean, you learn a lot when you make something new, so it's all very exciting. So watch this space. I think that's it for today. So have a great day, everybody, and I will see you all next time round. Take care. Bye.